Hey friends, welcome back to Bible Fun with the Duns. We are on the move, going to a cross-country meet, and we just read Revelation chapter 22. We finished it up, and we're pretty excited about it. Preacher Daddy is going to start us off.
Okay, what I liked about the book was, you know how in the very beginning it talked about, or the beginning of the chapter, it talked about the tree of life is there, and it gives fruit every month, and the leaves are for the healing of nations, and nothing wicked will ever enter in. I liked all of those pieces. I'd be interested to get to heaven to see exactly what that means, like what that tree will look like, what and why we would eat from it. Do we eat from it because of enjoyment? Because we know that if we accept Jesus, we have everlasting life, and we know that in heaven there's no sickness and there's no sorrow. So we don't need healing. So are these things now, are they for enjoyment? Like we enjoy the fruit of the tree, or we enjoy the presence of these medicinal plants? I don't know. But here's what I do know. I do know that in eternity, number one, there is no sickness. So if you've got leaves that are for the healing of the nations, first of all, I like the fact that, remember, God didn't just create the New Jerusalem, the city. He's also created a new earth with the New Jerusalem as its capital, which means probably people are going to be spread out over the whole earth and living wonderful lives and serving God within their own locations. If you like the mountains, you can go live in the mountains. If you like the beach, you go live at the beach. If you want to travel around, you do that.
So we're not in clouds, sitting on clouds?
No, we're not sitting on clouds playing
Did
harps.
y'all think that? I mean...
Okay, so we don't have that, but it also says that in that world there is no more sickness, and if there's no more sickness, then there's no sorrow, there's no hurt, there's no pain. And then we have this tree of life that we originally saw in the book of Genesis, that if they were to eat of the tree, they would have lived forever, which God didn't want Adam and Eve to eat from, because they had eaten of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and He didn't want them to live forever in their sin. So not only is there no sickness in this final place, there's also no death, because it's the tree of life is there, which means those who live there, by the way, the tree isn't what makes us live forever, it's the everlasting life given through Jesus. But the tree reminds us there is no more death. I like that. So if there's no more death, then there's no more goodbyes. There's no graveyards in the new heaven and new earth. There's no funerals. There's none of that. But also, there's this thing where it says that and nothing evil will ever enter into it. So not only is there no sickness, not only is there no sorrow and no death, there's also no sin. Imagine being able to live your life with the complete absence of sin. So no more sinful choices, no more sinful temptations, no more sinful urges, no more sinful pulls or nags or shame over what we've done. We are living the way God intended for His people to live, and we get to live that way forever. I really like that about the passage.
I do too. In the beginning, it talks about from the throne will come the river of the water of life. In heaven there will be or in the New Jerusalem, there will be no need for the sun, because God is there and He is the light. And so right away it makes me think of things in the New Testament, the way they describe Jesus. What's cool is that there is no need for anything really but Him. He is the sustainer. He's the source of everything that is needed. And it's important to know that doesn't start when we get to heaven, but that's how He is now. And when they describe Him in the New Testament, He even tells the lady that He has the living water. If she drinks from it, she'll thirst no more. Jesus is described as the light of the world. And so right now, today, we can look to Him as the source of everything we need. He is our sufficiency, and He alone can care for us. Another thing, we were reading, we call him in my Sunday school class Papaw Tony Evans' commentary about this, and there's a lot in this book that can be difficult to understand. There's so much symbolism that we're just really guessing at all the that it means. But there's some things that happen in the book of Revelation that are super important that are really simple. They're easy to understand. And one thing that it tells us is that Jesus is coming soon. Like, you need to know him now. At the end, it pleads for us to come to know him because this is happening. We're closer today than we were yesterday, right? Another thing that gives me hope and gives me excitement, John, who witnessed all of this, the scary things, the bowls, the trumpets, the seals, all the things of tribulation and all the things of the end times that we don't know and we don't understand, he's still begging for God to come. He still falls down in worship, and it's better for God to come and to be in his presence, and it's worth all the mess that the end times covers. And so even though he witnessed all of the end times and all of the scary things that we can think about in Armageddon and the apocalypse, he's still begging for God to come and to reign.
Yeah. I like how the book ends, because the book ends with the way that any sermon ought to end. It ends with an invitation. And so he says, let him come, let him come, let him come. And that's an invitation for us. Come to Jesus, come to Jesus. But it's also an invitation for Jesus saying, please, come on, Lord Jesus, we're ready for this. And so when you're reading through Revelation, as bad as it is, John is still begging Jesus to come make this happen. Like we read a couple of chapters ago, where the Lord told John to write down, he says, these words are faithful and true, write them down. And he's saying, John, listen, this stuff is going to happen. This is absolutely going to happen. And John said, it is going to be bad, but it's also going to be really good. So come, Lord Jesus.
Come on.
And that's the invitation. Come to Jesus. All right, y'all have a great day. Tomorrow we start our next book, and we're excited about it.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye.